Welcome to the Second Press podcast, a wine-ish podcast hosted by Brad Horn and Dan Kirby.
Just dive in, because we've had a crazy busy couple of weeks, haven't we?
We have had a crazy busy couple of weeks. So true. How are you then, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. My voice still hurts from the London Wine Fair. So I lost. If you came to see us at the London Wine Fair, I lost my voice on day 3 on the Wednesday afternoon, which was the day we were recording all the interviews we were about to play. So the last interview was Sarah Abbott this week. My voice is super croaky, so sorry about that.
And obviously, Brad doesn't lose his voice. Professional.
He's used to talking too much. He's used to talking too much.
I talk too much, guys. I talk too much.
And then my voice is still hurting now. So we're recording a few days later. The introduction to the London Wine Fair episode, which we're listening to, and my voice is still a bit croaky. So I'm hoping that at some point in the future, my voice packs up. I can't sing in the car at the moment, mate. That's the hardest part, you know.
We're going to get some car singing in, Dan, but also I'm going to teach you a few techniques about looking after your voice, mate, and how you can keep talking. From my music training years ago. I'm joking.
Yeah.
So let's crack on with the wine trade news.
Yeah, let's have a crack. Let's see what's in the news. There's loads of stuff to talk about.
I'm going to start off with this one. Drinks retailing. WineGB appoints Charlie Holland as the chair. Joe Gilbert just gone on maternity leave. Good luck, Joe, with pregnancy.
Yeah.
But Charlie Holland now WineGB chair. Thoughts on that, mate?
Yeah, I bumped into him at the London Wine Fair. He seemed like he was in a good spirits at the time. They hadn't announced it yet, so he was keeping it quiet. And I think he's a good guy for the industry. You know, CEO of Gusborne, got a new project with big Jackson Family Wines, and so I think he's going to be a great guy for the wine industry in the UK.
Absolutely. I got a little quote here. Having worked across the wine, agriculture and drink sector for many years, I've seen firsthand the pressures and opportunities to shape the industry. Pretty good quote. Charlie's a good guy. I really hope he can just get everything together and sort of bring a bit of unity.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
To a really, really good industry.
And we're going to get him on the show too, right?
We are, mate. It's coming very soon. Couple of months. I think it's about 6 weeks he should be on the show, guys.
Yeah, before harvest we'll get him on.
Before harvest.
But yeah, I'm excited by that. That'll be a good one.
Absolutely. I'm going to hit the buyer as well, because obviously this is our London Wine Trade Fair episode. But Richard Siddle did a deep dive into London Wine Fair and how it's affected the industry. And actually, he was really upbeat about the fair this year. And I found that as well across the board. But Richard wrote a really good piece about the upbeat nature of it and big and small retailers getting involved.
And I think same how we should back the London Wine Fair.
Yeah.
And I think Richard, the article said this is a real significant step, this last year's one. It's the first year that Hannah has had the show as a sort of independently run iteration. And we were chatting to her at the show and she said it's much more agile now, which is a really great sort of thought process. Like when they want to do something interesting, they just crack on and do it now. And I think you could kind of feel that freshness and that excitement in the room of the day. So yeah, it was a real good show to attend and really nice piece from Richard. He's good at that sort of stuff, isn't he?
He is very good at that. He's a journo.
He knows what he's up to.
And the last one's actually from the BBC, actually. Top chefs call for a cutting VAT for pubs and restaurants to 10%, like pretty much the rest of Europe. So halving the VAT rate. Lots of big chefs across the UK getting involved, championing this. Obviously, that affects the wine industry that we love. So thoughts on that, mate?
Yeah, massive one. The statistics for pubs and hospitality venues closing, and even operators that have been operating for 20 or 30 years who have just gone, oh, you know what, it's finally too hard, I can't do it. Yeah, and just looking across Europe, we pay 20% tax across the board on VAT for food and hospitality. It just seems a bit cut us a break because we've had national insurance rises and, you know, rateable tax values on property. Every tax going is making it harder. And so, but it's nice that the industry is sort of rallying around, 20% of your sort of turnover as tax to the government. If we can cut that in half, that gives them a bit of breathing room, And also that probably brings people out as well, like to restaurants. And actually that might bring more people to the restaurant, might bring more people to the tables and actually create more jobs. I think there's a bit of a balancing act here. I'm going to be devil's advocate, but I do think do it the right way. They're talking about unemployment. I'm not going to go into too much politics, but they are. Let's actually maybe balance this out. Actually get more people in jobs, more young people into jobs. As well as getting people in, it's getting people to come and eat at the venues.
Yep.
And there's only so far they can put their prices up before people just stop going out to eat at all.
Yeah.
And it has to remain affordable for a large part of the population. And it has to be a nice thing that people want to do. But eating out shouldn't be a luxury. If you look at lots of European countries, like eating out is a daily thing, and streets are full of people having dinner in the evenings. And in the UK, we just sort of see eating out as a luxury because it's so expensive at the moment.
Absolutely, mate. Good one. Let's hit to the interviews. We've got 3 interviews from the fair, guys. So a bit congested this episode with 3 different people. We had 6. A couple of technical issues. Someone I think pulled the plug on the laptop, so we've lost a few. But the guys who've not been on, we're not going to name names. We're going to get them on a later date on a few different episodes as well.
So we have got. Let's just run through who we're going to listen to.
Larry Cherubino, winemaker for Margaret River.
Yeah, amazing winemaker. We've got my friend Matthew Brown from Virginia Wines.
Absolutely. Sarah Abbott, MW.
Yeah, so an amazing cross-section of people from the wine trade and people at the show. So we're just going to do those 3 interviews, little snappy sort of 10-minute interviews back to back. So here they are.
Enjoy. Larry, your journey into wine. If people don't know you, Larry Cherubino, Margaret River winemaker.
Thank you. Look, I've been involved in the wine industry for nearly 35 years now, so I've been around for a while, and I've been coming to the fair for at least 25. So things have changed a lot in that 25 years. But look, I always enjoy coming to this market very much. My career began. I'm a farm boy, and so I sort of migrated into working in vineyards, and then worked in wineries and sort of caught the bug.
Yeah.
And from there, I traveled the world. Worked for lots of companies around the place, ran a very big wine company for a while, and then about 20 years ago, we decided to do our own thing. So here we are.
That jump from going alone, that must have been quite daunting at the start.
Yeah, look, probably, we started making wines and I started doing work for lots of other people around the world. So I had a consultancy business and I was working in California and Italy and New Zealand. So it was actually good from that point of view. A lot of work, a lot of travel.
Do you find all winemakers love downsizing eventually? It's like go back to...
Look, eventually I think so. I mean, we've got a pretty interesting business because it sort of spreads across vineyards, winemaking. We've got tasting rooms and a bit of hospitality. I don't know if I'm downsizing.
It's not actually downsizing at all.
I don't think so.
If people don't know Margaret River,
yeah,
elevator pitch. So what is Margaret River and what it's all about if people don't know?
Margaret River is obviously located in the southwest corner of Western Australia. Western Australia is the largest state in Australia. The UK fits into it 11 times. Western Australia produces less than 5% of Australia's total annual crush, but represents about 20% of the premium wine coming out of Australia.
Wow!
In a very short amount of time. I mean, Chardonnay, for example, has a history in Margaret River since 1982, and it's been able, off a very small base in a tiny region, to generate some buzz, which when you don't have to try too hard, and things naturally produce quality product as like that Margaret River does, you're onto something.
Absolutely.
It's the best example of a maritime climate in Australia. Yeah.
All right. Let's go to the show itself. Favorite wine at the show that you've tried, not your own though. Tough one. Sorry.
Yeah. Have you had time to taste much?
I tried a wine called Tête de Clos from Puy-Fissé, which is a little vineyard owned by Jadot. And I was really quite impressed with that Chardonnay. Yeah.
If you could make wine anywhere else, where would it be?
Piedmont.
Piemonte. Okay. Yeah. So
I spent a bit of time there. Quite a bit of time in Piemonte. I mean, I love the wines, and I love Nebbiolo. So yeah.
You make some Nebbiolo as well. You do.
Yeah. So
is that why that you get your hands on it? And
we do, and we've got vineyards in the Great Southern in Franklin River, and that's where we have all of our Nebbiolo planted, and it's working.
Okay, it really is. Oh, amazing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool, dry, and that big sort of continental sort of influence that Piemonte has. We have some elevation, but not the same level.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you get up to outside of wine?
The work is pretty all consuming. I've got a family, but I've got 3 boys, but they're sort of growing up pretty quickly. I just like hanging out on the beach, on the water, Yeah, just resting really.
In those sort of small moments of downtime, just get yourself to the beach.
It's all consuming. Yeah.
And before we let you go, Larry, for the future, what's exciting? What project can you tell us about that you think this is going to be exciting in Margaret River or Franklin?
Oh, look, we've done a huge amount of work with varieties and clones, and so we're just trying to work out the new varieties to our regions that are really better suited than, say, some of the French model that was sort of adopted, 100 years ago. So we're working with a lot of Italian varieties, a lot of, depending on the region, some southern European, northern European region varieties, that have thick skins that work well and are quite resistant to disease. And generally just working a lot on, we've been working with concrete and terracotta for 15 years, and a lot of those things are really starting to come through in our wines. So I think our wines are a lot more focused and a lot more true than probably what people would consider to be Australia sort of 20 years ago. Well, a lot of regions went through that sort of, small oak, lots of extraction, lots of,
A lot of wine regions are going back to concrete.
And back to wines that have flavour but also have a lot of clarity. And I think that's the important thing.
And this is my last one. I actually asked you this on Monday. I interviewed a few buyers a few weeks ago, Dan, and I asked them, well, one of them said to me, I believe Margaret River is the greatest fine wine region outside of the old world. And I asked Larry this. What do you think, Larry?
I think it's a tough one. I think parts of Western Australia, in particular Margaret River, they just have a natural affinity to, they just have this very gentle season. We don't have these massive spikes. We do have them occasionally, but being, a maritime climate, and if you look around Europe and all the maritime climates, particularly in years where you get frost, they're the ones that are actually insulated against that variability. And Margaret River's had a consistent run of very great vintages for a very long time. I would say that potentially, and I'd probably upset some people around the place, but it's one of the better places in the Southern Hemisphere to grow Chardonnay.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. And I think what it is, you have this wonderful tension in the wines. And I tasted some Margaret River Chardonnays blind with some Soms.
Yeah, we spoke about it on the pod.
Before. And Soms just were picking your wines as Burgundies because they were so good.
Yeah.
And and it had that tension, and you felt like it was so refined, so elegant, but there's a wonderful acidic line. It's just beautiful wines, and I just implore people to try more Margaret River Chardonnay.
Yeah, no, it's actually a really good way to get people to understand Margaret River. And obviously there's great Cabernet growing in Margaret River, but a lot of places around the world grow great Cabernet. So it's Chardonnay is the one where it is that well defined as it is in Margaret River that it tells a story.
Thanks, Larry. Absolutely great to have you. Really appreciate your time.
Thanks for coming on, Larry. Really appreciate it.
Thanks very much. Okay, bye.
Thanks, man. Bye, guys.
Hey, Matthew, how are you?
I'm just living the dream.
Thank you for coming on the pod.
Happy to have me.
Happy to have me. Yeah.
We're always happy to have you, Matt.
I'm happy to have me, mate.
And obviously, you two guys are friends. You know each other from the MW program.
It's nice to see you in the UK.
We're all travelers. Yeah, we haven't spent much UK time together, have we?
We've been international travelers the whole time.
You spend more time with me.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like, we've become better friends, mate.
New replacement.
Matt Brown, you are an ambassador for Virginia wines. You talk about Virginia wines. Obviously, we've been trying them this week. Elevator pitch. What is Virginia? What is the wine scene there?
Well, we are constantly struggling to find a different way to say emerging region, because I hate that term so much.
The UK hates that term too, right? Yeah.
Well, we get called an emerging region as well. Yeah.
But we, as I said earlier, I think we're really starting to find our voice. So our elevator pitch, if I had one for us at this point, is that we have a mid-Atlantic climate with a region that is quite varied in terms of terrain and topography. We have coastal area where we make really great Chardonnay. We've got mountain terrain where we can make just beautifully luminescent and fresh Cabernet Franc, and a little bit of everything in between. We often get, I would say, compared to Bordeaux in the sense of that mid-Atlantic climate. We have a lot of clay-heavy soils. But we're really just sort of our own unique, difficult to define region. And I think that possibility of exploration is what draws people to Virginia. And even having been there for all 38 of my years, I'm still learning about those little eccentricities that make our wine world quite special.
And what's been quite fun, sorry, Dan, what's been quite fun today is to see everyone else at the fair's reaction to Virginia. Like, I think they're coming with maybe blinkers on. I'm not sure I'm going to like these. I don't know what they're going to be like. And every person, if you take them to one stand, they go back to 3 or 4. So like, wow, the quality across the board of these wines are fantastic.
And a really diverse range of wines as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think what was really translated as well, I think they really touch on what the UK market's drinking right now. Lighter, fresher, vibrant wines. Like, you can chill some of them down. Like, I think they really speak to consumers right now. Like, a bit of lower ABV. Well, I think it might be the right time, literally, to come back to the UK market and showcase what Virginia's all about. And also, sorry to keep championing, but the camaraderie of the team there. Like, you know, some emerging regions like South Africa and all those guys, they all get together and want to like help each other out. It really feels like that in Virginia.
And it's sort of, having gone through the trial by fire is a really great way of building that team spirit and that sort of, we're all in this same boat together work ethic approach. And it's really, particularly in an industry that's challenging now more than ever, being surrounded by like-minded people who are as passionate is absolutely required in order to continue forward.
Off topic, favorite wine at the show that's not in Virginia?
Okay, well, is this going to be self-serving? Because I tried a lovely pink fizzy charmat.
That's not allowed.
That's not allowed, apart from Flint. It is lovely.
It's very lovely. It's super fun. I really enjoyed drinking that. I have sort of saved this afternoon to do most of my tasting, but I did most of my exploration this far bouncing around through the English bubbly producers.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Because I'm a huge fan. I have a relatively limited selection of those back home. So while I'm here, it's been quite fun. Can I pick a favorite? I'm not sure I can do that, but I'm a big acid focused person, as I think many of us are. And I also just love a bubble. And I've really enjoyed having those wines that sort of reignite the spirit of, what am I going for there? They remind me of the way maybe it's champagne sort of used to be.
Yeah. I think a lot of English producers would love you for saying that.
Got a brand ambassador for English wine.
You need to go to America. You need to stay here.
Yeah, there we go. We'll do that. A region outside of Virginia and not the UK that you always go to. Like, so if you're at home, you're going to open a glass of wine. Where is it from?
So I'm a cool climate white guy.
Yeah.
And I do drink plenty of French wine for sure, but regardless of the season, but especially if we're talking spring, summer, quite warm in Virginia in the fall as well. I've got like a Gruner Veltliner in my hand, and I'm going like Macau, somewhere like that, and I just want acid. I want medium sort of body. I want citrus notes. I want green notes. I want moderate alcohol. And it's quite funny. I always tell people that a person's bookshelf tells you the kinds of books that they read, and a person's wine cellar tells you the kinds of wines that they don't drink.
That's great. I love that. Yeah.
If you come to my house and look at my wines, you're going to say, all this man drinks is Bordeaux. When the truth is, I love to buy Bordeaux. And you're going to say, there's not a single bottle of Gruner Veltliner in this entire house. And it's because I drink 3 of them a day.
All the bottles of Gruner in the recycling bin.
Exactly right.
Obviously, I know you're an MW student, Matt, so you do a lot of stuff in wine. But if outside of wine, what do you get up to?
I live in the kitchen. I think a lot of wine people live in the kitchen. I love to cook, and I'm very fortunate in my work life now to be working primarily from home. So starting around 3:30, 4 o'clock, that's when I'm doing my prep.
And a bottle of Gruner.
And a bottle of Gruner, that's right.
Sitting on a Zoom call in the kitchen, chopping onions.
Yeah. And it's funny you say that, because my partner always jokes that everything I cook, step 1 is to chop the onions.
He's on a Zoom crying because he's chopping the onions. I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
And before I let you go, the future for Virginia wines in the UK, let's go for the UK. What would you like to see? if you had the magic ball?
Yeah, well, I mean, from my Virginia perspective, London is where all the cool kids go to drink, right? And so I would love to see not necessarily a tremendous volume of Virginia wine being placed in the UK, but a few meaningful placements at trendy and cool places would make me feel like I can start having lunch with the cool kids.
Yeah, okay, nice. Yeah.
Having not ever really been a cool kid, that would really mean a lot to me. And especially, I'm hopeful that will help me have lunch with the cool kids at tables in places like DC and New York as well.
Yeah.
So when the Virginia guy walks into the room, it's like he's at the top table with us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love California and I love California wines. I go to Napa once, twice, sometimes 3 times a year, and I have nothing but love for them. And I also feel like give me some stage time now. It's my turn.
I love it.
I just want to be like adored.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to be the lead singer now. Let me be the lead singer. Matt, so much for your time. It's been really, really great. Really great to have you. Great to meet you.
Yes, sir.
And keep championing Virginia wine.
We'll be back.
Right, ask me the fucking questions, Bradsy. I'm ready.
That's very lit.
It is now. Sarah Abbott, thank you so much for joining us at our London Wine Fair podcast.
Thank you for asking me. Nice to see you both.
It's taken us all day to get you on the show.
What can I say?
You are so busy. The last 3 days I thought I run around the fair a lot. You have been everywhere.
I've had quite a few of my clients here, and then also I really like and want to support the fair. And can I tell you what really pisses me off?
Yeah.
When people just whinge. I mean, I understand things are tough, and okay, you might not have the the funds to exhibit and so on, but look at what Hannah's done. Look at the pressure on our calendars to come and go to tastings, and this is actually such a useful fair, and you make it what it is. So many interesting, delicious, and inspiring wines here, and the sessions have been amazing. And I don't understand why some people in the industry almost are like determined just to be grumpy about it.
I feel like this week, actually, I think this week's probably gone against that. I actually think I've heard more positivity.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've not been coming to the fair as long as probably you guys, but over the last 5 years I've been coming. Like the positivity in the room this week has been more than I felt. Like, I'm not saying it's back to when it was 20 years ago. People used to talk about that, all the good old days, but it really feels like there's a good buzz and a good energy in the room. The masterclasses and these tastings have really helped. They've been like some of the top wines of the world have been involved in these tastings. So I think the energy in the room has been very different this year than the few of the years previous.
And very good speakers.
Yeah.
But I guess my perspective is really framed by the work I've been doing for my clients. So we've had quite a big stand for Wines of Georgia. We've had really good visitors to the stand, really good conversations, like tipping point conversations, serious buyers. And actually, can I tell you the other thing that pisses me off?
I'm enjoying these stories. Yeah. I'd love to know the things that do piss you off.
How
long have we got?
We said this would be 5 minutes. When you go to events, they say it's buyers only. And actually, that's so stupid because buyers work in an ecosystem. They're not going to buy anything if their sales team are not on board. And very often they will consider something if the sales team saying, oh my God, people keep asking me for Georgian Saperavi. That's actually a lot of what's happened with Georgia, for example. It's the throughput, and then the sales team become aware through all the media and that whole discourse around media and PR. So this kind of only buyers, I just think that it's so stupid. Buyers don't work on their own. They're not in a silo.
No. And also, their sales team need to be behind the wine.
Yeah.
So actually, you need the whole team here. You need everyone to try it.
I quite often feel I've been standing behind the podium for the first time this year, and I really love talking to the people who are on the shop floor or the somms, because they might not be the buying director for the restaurant, but they're the people actually selling those wines.
Yeah.
They're the one hand selling the wine.
I can see other people on the stages just looking a bit like rolling their eyes when they get people that aren't buyers to talk to. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I'd like to talk to anyone, please.
That's such I think that's such a mistake. I mean, can you remember being young and in the trade? I remember coming to my first London Wine Fair, and I've kind of felt a bit trepidatious. And I remember the producers who were really kind to me and showed me things because actually we don't have very structured talent development routes in the wine industry. And you never know what people are going to go on to do.
Yep.
Okay, fair enough. You've got someone who's maybe, a bit the worse for wear, so on, fine. Draw the conversation to a close and,
That happens on a Wednesday afternoon, Sarah.
politely, come on, let's not be hypocrites.
No.
This is what happens when you are basically working the drinks industry. Sometimes people misjudge it, blah, blah, but actually I think Hannah's done a really good job of trimming that list. And it's not about the pure numbers, it's about the quality. But this is the other thing, you don't want only senior people. And also, how do they think that that talent develops? Probably gets developed by the boss saying, can you go to London Wine Fair, find something interesting, or tell me what you think.
That's how I got into buying. So I was working for Adnams and the buyers were like, Dan, just go to the fair, see what's interesting. And it was great. That's how I got into buying wine, is doing exactly that.
Yeah. And then when you reported back and you'd say, I think this is interesting, would they say, yeah, whatever.
Whatever, Dan. Go back to the shop floor.
I had that when I had a boss who said, yeah, whatever. And I said, no, you should come and taste it. She came to try it and said, oh, actually, yes, you're right. This is really good.
Oh,
yeah.
That's why you're a master of wine.
I was just a little baby then. I was like little baby Yoda.
Sarah, I'm going to talk off wine now. What do you do outside of wine to have fun?
Oh, I like dancing.
You like dancing?
Yeah.
Any particular form of dancing or just free form?
My special dancing.
Sarah dancing.
I like a sort of funky disco wiggle. I just like to dance. I like dance around the kitchen. I put my headphones on and dance in the morning. I go to Keep Fit Dance. I dragged my husband to salsa classes. And he said, oh my God, he said, I could see you and the music was getting ready. You were like a kind of like a ticking time bomb, desperate to dance. But then actually, bless him. I mean, he really loves me because he's classic Englishman. He's not really a dancer,
Englishmen aren't naturally dancers.
They're not dancers, not unless they've had about 8 pints.
8 pints.
For some people, maybe 6.
Maybe 6.
I think you'd be a 4-pint dancer, Brad.
I'm a dancer.
You're a dancer.
I'm a dancer. You ask my wife, ask Chelsea, she would say I'm a dancer.
So I like dancing. Yeah. And also, I've been getting into a lot of my Keep Fit lately. Because basically, I realize otherwise I'm just going to get really knackered.
Is it for the wine fair? Like you're training for the wine fair?
God, yeah. I've been lifting tiny weights. Not tiny wine, but tiny weights. I like that. Yeah. And I'm very much a homebody when I'm at home. I like walking the dog. I like playing with the dog, actually. The dogs are hilarious.
We don't deserve dogs.
No.
I love them. Absolutely love them.
He's a dog man.
Dog man.
Sarah, thank you so much. You've been a star.
My pleasure. Okay.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
Cheers, bye.
Dan, that was really, really fun. Obviously, a little snapshot of the fair for us, but such a great fair, such a great bunch of people we had on, and really, really good showcases how vibrant and actually the community at the London Wine Fair.
Yeah, and I think the interviews were quite sort of a bit reflective of the show, quite frivolous, quite playful. Larry's a winemaker's guy, but Matthew and Sarah sort of just shoot the shit for a couple of bits and just, it was quite a nice fun to chat about them,
Absolutely.
I liked it. Not too nerdy.
Absolutely. Before we leave the fair, I want to ask you what you tried that was interesting or something that actually you want to shout out.
It's the first year I've actually been working, standing behind the podium. So I mostly tasted my wines I was looking after. But actually, the winery I work for, Flint, we make a lot of charmat wines. And so charmat is a growing category in the UK. So actually, I tasted all of the other charmats. There are maybe 4 or 5 others at the show that I tasted. But I want a quick shout out to Luke at Everflight, who's doing some interesting stuff with charmat. So it's a nice way. They only make fizzy wines. and they're diversifying from trad method into charmat method English fizz. And so that's probably the one that I quite like to taste. It's so different to the one that we make.
Yeah.
And so charmat as a category in the UK is a growing thing. And so more charmat method wines in the market is a good thing, in my opinion. So it's nice to try those, yeah. Particularly Everflight, yeah.
I got to try quite a lot of stuff, but I'm going to actually do a bit of a callback. We talked about clairet, the Bordeaux style of wine.
Here we go.
And I had loads of clairets to try. And actually, mate,
here we go.
There's some pretty good wines. Obviously, the Bordelais can make some nice wines.
You're going to ruffle feathers. I'm going
to ruffle, but the wines were good. They make them from like super dry to sweet.
Yep.
Some of the sweeter styles with the sugar, not for me. I totally see the market for that. But some of these dry wines, fresh, vibrant, crunchy fruit, really, really expressive. I'm in. And the labels, I'll actually put a cross-section of labels that I saw, like really funky and really un-Bordelais, as you'd think, like not Bordeaux.
The whole point of the category that they've created is to try and make Bordeaux fun and accessible again, because it is, say what you like about how good the wines are, it's stuffy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so that's what clairet's trying to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, they might have picked a contentious word to do it with.
We had a few conversations at the fair about that.
James Tanner will be on the phone. But, you know,
phone, James.
Get on the phone. But, you know, like this style of wine, I think is a good thing.
Yeah.
So they can call it what they like in my mind. Don't care.
Absolutely. Totally agree. Also, shout out to Hatch Mansfield. They heard the last episode.
Oi.
So they sent me the World Cup Tattinger.
I didn't get one.
Oh, sorry, mate. I'll get you one. I'll get you one in the post. And they sent my boy a football as well.
Oh, that is
so
amazing.
He's happy.
I love
so
that.
I've got the new World Cup football and the wine itself. It's the Brut Reserve, different box, different label. I'm going to open that for the first game. So thanks to those guys. Shout out to them.
I love that.
They are listening, which is great.
People are listening, mate. The reviews are coming in. I see the podcast numbers coming through. We're at nearly 5,000 downloads already after the first 10 episodes.
That's pretty good. Pretty good for the podcast.
By all accounts, people are listening to the show. So I really appreciate people's support listening to the show. That's great.
We've had another review. Well, technically a comment on Spotify.
Here we go.
It's from Henry himself, who was on one of the episodes before.
Nice.
He obviously commented on someone else's episode. He commented on Chris Wilson's episode. He said, "You really don't need to go beyond WSCT level 1. Anything above it is just showing off." Henry, I'll let the WSCT talk to you about that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's showing off, and Dan probably doesn't think it is, as he's an MW student. But
I think Henry is the most well-educated WSET 1 scholar.
You might be right. Actually, maybe we should find out. Send us in if you've got more education, if you've got a doctorate or something like that, and you've only got WSET level 1, and we'll call Henry out on that.
Yeah, amazing. Well, fun show.
It's been really fun, mate. Really great episode. London Wine Fair was awesome. I'm really chuffed with where the pod's going, and really great that people are listening. And we had so many people at the fair itself, like coming over saying that we're listening to the pod. I'm a binger. I've had people saying I'm a binger, wanting a photo. So yeah,
that was so nice. We had people come and hang out at the Flint stand saying, "Oh, actually, Dan, the podcast's doing all right as well." Yeah, I like that. That was fun.
Yeah.
And I got to meet Christelle in person too, which was great. I've never met her in person, so she came to
which is great.
Yeah,
she is a great person.
Cool. So we'll see you in a couple of weeks for the next episode.
See you soon. Bye.